Hello, everybody. Come on in for a moment with Celeste today. I'm going to be doing my live today here on my Moments with Celeste page, but I'm also going to be streaming it in to the Crafty Bunch page. And then after I'm done with that, I may even copy them into the Crafters Hives page. So anybody today that comes on, I welcome you, and we're going to have a good time together. We're doing a stash busting event, and I got stash to bust. Just saying. So, as you come on in, just say hi and let's have a little bit of conversation while we craft today. And I'm going to get started here. We have just a couple of minutes yet. My time is 12:45 Central, but I'm on here early. And my dear friend from the Artful Adventures, Christy, is going to be connecting us, and Christy is actually hosting the event today for the Crafty Bunch. So she has filled a schedule full of great creatives all through, started at about noon today and going through this evening. So make sure you check those out. There's some pretty awesome things that get made when we all get together and do things like this. So if you come on, say hi. I'd love to say hi to you. And so just welcoming again anybody from the On My Moments with Celeste page, anyone seeing this on the Crafty Bunch, and then anyone that will be catching this on a replay and replay on the Crafters Hive. So just gonna spread the joy around. And that little she shed sign my daughter wanted me to have there today is like positioned right at the top of my head, so it kind of looks like a crown. Oh my gosh, how crazy. Crazy days, right? So go ahead and come on in and let's just have a good time here crafting today, doing some creative things. My creative today is going to have a little bit of a Victorian edge to it, or a vintage type of Victorian edge to it, and it's going to involve lots of scrap paper pieces. Hello, Judy. Come on in. Or Jody. Sorry, my vision today. Jody, hi from hot and muggy South Florida. Oh, that's the only reason I don't do well in the summertime. So right now, here in Omaha, it's not been hot and muggy. It's been cool and damp and cloudy for about a week. And it's supposed to stay this way until, I believe, Saturday or Sunday. Then it's supposed to next week be up to 89. So thank you so much, Christy. I appreciate that. So let's go ahead and get started. So when I was set with this little challenge today to do some scrap busting, some stash busting creation today. I thought, and I have stash, but here's where my biggest issue of my stash is. I've got two of these full of papers, just scraps. These are just scraps of paper. And so I thought, well, I'm going to definitely do something that I can get rid of some of this today. And then I went through, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, I believe it's 4 or 5 containers that store these little plastic photo boxes. And in these, I have all kinds of stuff. So this one's got a bunch of trims and things like that are in there. And then I have, let's see, I have these little bags here that are full of trim pieces, vintage pieces, all kinds of goodness. So, and then I have another one that's got several of these little Rattenberg, I think they're called Rattenberg, little doilies in them. So I just pulled this stuff out today. I'm even going to add probably some of my fabric scraps here, just to get rid of them and make something beautiful out of them. So come on in, say hi, and let's get started, because I have 45 minutes today. So the whole center of this is, first of all, I have this in my stash. It was a Dollar Tree little hanging wood board, and I think it's a 10 by 10 if I'm correct. So I thought, well, I'm going to use that for my base today. And then, let's see, I'm going to take, and I pulled out a bunch of papers and started tearing things up. So I've got all kinds of little papers. And then I have some, I showed you the other things. And then I found this little saying, because I'm actually thought I'm going to give this to a very dear friend of mine who loves living in vintage. She loves the older type of things, and she's a younger gal. And so I found this, I put in there into the Google a little thing about a beautiful vintage woman, and it came up with some different things. So I've put this together. Hi Cheryl and Joanne and Teresa. So good to see you ladies today. Thanks for coming in. So this says the beauty of a vintage woman. Grace and elegance. Vintage women are often portrayed and refined and graceful. Moral values. Vintage women were seen as upholding traditional values. Strong-willed. Vintage women were not always passive, and some were leaders in their communities. Domestic skills. Many vintage women were skilled in cooking, sewing, and other household tasks. Kindness and generosity. Vintage women oftentimes displayed kindness and compassion towards others. So I put this on here on a piece of paper. I did it in kind of a brown ink before I printed it, and then I grunged it up a little bit with a little bit of my tea dye, and that's going to be the base of my board today. So I'm going to turn you down here. Hello Sherry and Funky Junk Inspirations, Jill Brown, come on in. We're going to have a good time today. So I'm going to turn you down a little bit, and you can kind of see what we're doing. But I'm going to start this. I already put one piece. I had a piece of coffee filter scrap in there. And I'm so excited because I get to use my little Tim Holtz little decoupage brush for the first time today. Isn't it just the cutest little thing? So excited about that. And I'm going to go ahead and start just decoupaging on. I'm using some decoupage gel medium here, and hopefully this works. I'm never sure if I get the right thing or not. So I've got that on there. I'm going to come and let's put over here. I've got a little piece that I tore out of my paper stash, and I'm just going to start adding these on here. And we're just going to do like a border with this, okay? Just do a border, and going to do kind of like a collage or a mosaic. And we're just going to go through and put these little pieces all together. Here's a little piece. I tried to find some pieces that would kind of have a little bit of a vintage flair to it. I don't know if they are vintage or not, but they have flowers. So I've got tissue paper that was in this little junky collection that I had of all my scraps that I have kept for a long time. So I just pull them out when I want to do something that doesn't require like a whole lot of, whole lot of things to do. Here's a piece that has some words on it. I think I'll put it over here. Maybe. Maybe not. I think I'm going to go up the side because I have a little more space up here on the side. Okay. And we'll just add this up here. And of course, you know, I'll come through and have to trim some of this off the edges when we get through. But, so this is how I'm busting some of my stash today. I am getting rid of some of these paper scraps and some of my little trims and things that I tend to like to just keep for special occasions, I guess. I don't know. You guys keep your scraps for special occasions? Hi, Anne. How are you today? Love playing with new tools. Aren't they fun? Every so often I get to spring something out. So this makes me feel like, oh, this is just kind of special today. Okay, and I got this little piece that's kind of got a little peach on it. And this was a piece of mulberry paper scrap. I'm not going to go into the middle because that's where I'm going to actually, as I showed you, I'm going to put my actual little saying about description of what a vintage woman looked like or was like. Let's see, now I'm going to go, I've got a little piece here that's kind of got some something going on. A little something. Let's put that, let's see, I don't like that piece. This one's going to be better, I think. I don't know. Okay. And we'll get that put on. I'm just going to go around here and we're going to trim out the whole little section. I'm going to put this little tiny piece of brown. My problem with scraps is when I tear them, I just make more. It's right, you do. That is a great point there, Jill. We do make more, don't we? Oh my goodness. Sometimes I think it might be fun sometime to take it and I don't know. You know, you can even decoupage, do some type of a vase or lamps. And I've done that before, done some vases. But it's definitely a way to get rid of some things. So here I'm going to tear this one out. This is kind of a little bit of a pink floral. And I think we'll come over here with this. And get it on. Coat over the top of that. And then let's see, we've got some others in here. Don't want to miss anything special that I might have. Okay, here's another. So, how many of you watching this that are on here tend to lean towards vintage when you do projects? Anybody? Anybody tend to lean more towards a vintage feel when you do your things? I tend to, when I journal, I definitely do. How about you guys? The wood is $1. It sure is. Got it for $1.25 at the Dollar Tree. It was in my closet. Hi, Callie. How are you today? You're a vintage girl, huh? Good. I think I picked up on that a little bit on that last sale I did. I'm kind of a, let's see, Anne, I was going to say, I bet you are, Anne, just from the things I watch you make. And Linda loves vintage. So what kind of things, for those of you that love to do vintage, what kind of things do you find that you lean towards? Hello, Lisa. Nice to see you. I was just watching Ahmad's cooking before I came on here on replay. And now I'm all hungry and want to go to a, you know, a Pakistan or India restaurant and for lunch. I love watching that. If you guys aren't following Lisa's, help me Lisa, put your link on here, Lisa. If you're not following Lisa Ahmad, her craft therapy, you're missing it. She does some interesting crafts, but her husband also does some cooking. He's from Pakistan, and he does some cooking, and oh my gosh, it looks so amazing. Love it. Love it, love it. So, okay, I'm going to put a little bright piece on here. And we're just going to keep working up around the edge. Here's what we've got so far. Just from my scraps from doing my stash busting. Okay. So I think I'll tear this off. It was a good, really was. Oh, I can taste it just by watching it, Lisa. Callie, vintage lace, vintage ephemera, vintage ladies and children. Oh yeah. Don't you love images of vintage ladies? I was hoping I could find one today, but I just didn't have time to find one that I thought would work on this. So for now, we're just going to make do with what I've got. But who knows what I'll add after I get done. You guys that follow me know that my creations that I end up with on my lives oftentimes don't look the same as they do when I show a picture of them later. Always got to go in and touch it up. Okay, here's a pretty little print. Just a little neutral. Let's see. My Artful Adventures, that is my thought. I am antique. So you're antique. And thank you so much, Christy. You know, I'm just finding that times names just slip my mind because Lisa is one I watch frequently, and you are one I watch frequently, Christy. And sometimes when I go to share it on my group who I'm watching and who to follow, it just leaves me. I see your face. Hi, Jamie. How are you? And Terry, thanks for coming in. You love vintage. You watch The Comfy Nest with Grace, and I have so much stuff. It's ridiculous. It just becomes, you can't help yourself, right? Those scary people, Tim Holt, are scary people. You know, Jamie, I kind of have that same feeling with a lot of them. I think they're so cute, and I try to use them. Then when I start using them, they look so sad that I can't put them on a lot of my pieces. I hope that he comes out with some people that maybe aren't quite... Jamie, you are so funny. My gosh. Quite as frightening. Okay. Oh gosh. Yeah. But you know, back then in those days, that era that those come from, I know they are taken, those images are from when, you know, people did not smile a lot back in those days. I don't know if they felt that it was being vain or have vanity, or is it just because of life circumstances? But oh my gosh, just the other day, my sister sent me 2 pictures, and I'm going to add them to my family memory book that goes back from way back. But it was of it would be my great grandmother in Sweden, and my other great grandmother who lived here in the States. But she, both of them are like that in their pictures, and they're the big old Victorian dresses. So I can't wait to get those put into my book. I really can't. Let's see, I'm going to add this pretty little color here now again. I think my husband's turning into one of those vintage people. Just saying. Just saying. Because every picture we get of him, I have to really work with him to smile. And he never used to be that way. And so another picture my sister sent me this weekend was an adorable picture of him. It was taken about 25 years ago with him and my nephew when he was like 2 years old. And my husband's just smiling, and he just has the biggest, brightest smile. And I showed it to him. I said, see, that's what I mean. That's what I miss. So he would be a good Tim Holtz model. I have heard it also had to do with having to stand there so long for the pictures to take. Come on, they could smile a while. Come on, right? Yeah, that's kind of how I think all my kids, nephews and nieces all kind of had that. Because my sister is a does photography, and you know, sometimes those used to get kind of lengthy. But you have to take a lot of shots to get good ones. And then now, looking back, we're like, oh, I'm so glad we have those, but they're smiling. That's the difference. I heard they had to pose for so long. Yeah, that's right, Jamie. I saw that. Reading you again. I don't like most old photos. They do look very angry. They really do. Hi, Jeanette. Nice to see you again today. They really do. And I really just wonder, you know, if it was just life circumstances back then. But even those that you see the glamoury kind of shots, you know, taken in New York City and stuff, they don't really smile. And I think there was a thing about smiling. I really do. We're going to do some research on that, aren't we? We're going to do some research. Somebody's going to have to Google or AI that and figure out what the deal was. Okay, let's see. We've got that color. We've got this color. Let's go with this one again. What's the name of the picture of the guy, the man and the woman with the pitchfork, standing in front of the house with the pitchfork and out in the field? That's another one. I love that picture. It's a fun picture, but they weren't smiling either. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. They were not bringing the joy. Bad teeth. Oh, Jamie, that actually could be a part of it. Maybe they had bad teeth. I know I've seen teenagers when they get braces that won't smile in their pictures. Because they don't want everybody to see their braces, but I think braces are actually kind of cute on people. Joanne, yes, the America Gothic picture. Yeah. See, they weren't smiling, were they? Yeah, they weren't. Okay, so I've made it all the way around. Now, I'm going to hopefully turn this back upside down. So there we've got my border. And the reason I wanted to have the color, the little splash here, is because this friend I'm going to give it to likes reds and things. So she likes red. She wears lots of pearls and polka dots and flowy dresses, and so I'm sure hoping that she's going to like this when I end up giving it to her. Now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to coat this middle with this product here. Okay, let's see. They do look solemn. They really, that's a good word, Lisa. You're so sweet. They look solemn. They don't look mad and scary, but solemn. Yes. Did you hear that, Jamie? They're solemn. Okay. Then we're going to take this and we're going to coat this with my sweet little brush. Probably get some wrinkles in it, but because we're vintage, I'm not going to be like all stressed out about that, I'll tell you. Do you guys like it when you do your decoupage and you get some wrinkling? I do. I love it. Always have. I just feel like it adds to it. Sit down hard with my brush, kind of pull some of it out. Boy, this has been an age-old technique, hasn't it? Doing torn up paper collages. We used to do this in grade school. Okay. So we've got that on. So there's the poem, and hopefully, okay, we're good. Okay, so there's the, it's not a poem, it's a more of a saying. And then I'm going to come back in real quick, and we'll add some paper to this couple of these pages here that didn't get anything. And let's see, let's go with this one here. Okay. Let's put that right there. Janice, I wish we were neighbors so we could craft together. You would have to get a restraining order on me. That's what my daughter's like. When she sees me or calls me or thinks of me, oh my gosh, she starts sending me pictures of things that I can craft. And then when she's here, of course, as you saw this weekend on our live, we did a lot of crafting together this weekend. But that's what it is. And you know what's funny is I don't have any friends that like to craft with me. Both of my very best friends, well, there's three of my very good friends. One is my sister-in-law, Karen, and then I have two others, and they don't like crafts. They don't like doing crafts. So Norma, you'll see her on here. She don't like to craft. Now, she will do it, and she does beautiful jobs when she does things, but it's not her thing. So I really don't have anybody that really likes to craft with me. It's kind of sad, don't you think? So, trying to find somebody. So I guess that's how I get my fix doing it here on Facebook, as I have peeps to craft with. Me either. Yeah, Jamie, come on. What is the deal? Why don't we have people that we just like to get together and craft? I so badly want to go to one of those that different pages do, those meet and greets. I know Dina's Designs, I think, is doing one. Actually, I think they're doing one this weekend. And I'd love to do that. I wish Crafty Bunch would have one here in the Midwest area. Hint, hint. Because I'd like to meet people, and I'm a little social being. Okay, let's see. Up here in this little area, I think what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to take, let's go with this peach here. Lisa, you have so much fun with Lindy, the two of you. Oh my gosh. And how far apart do you guys live from each other? Because I know you don't get together to do a lot of personal, face-to-face, I don't think. You might. That would be great. But, you know, I love when you guys pair up. And I know Bev does that a lot on Bev's Crafting with Love and Whimsy. She has Roberta that she does, and then she has it with her daughter, which I love watching. Okay, almost done here, guys. Almost done with this piece. What time are we? Okay. We're doing good. I think we're going to get her done, because this isn't the finished piece here. Okay, that's all I'm going to do right now. Nope, I don't want to stick that up there, but I'm going to stick this piece up here. Sorry. I saw a bald spot. Okay. Where are you located, Celeste? I'm in Omaha, right in the middle of the country. And all of you guys get all those fun things in the South and the East Coast, and I don't ever see anything in my neck of the woods. That's, I could drive. but I don't want to, I really don't want to have to fly for like a whole day to go. But I would love to do it. Kansas City would be a great location. You know, fly in there. You can fly into Kansas City. But so anybody out there that wants to do something like that, I think that would be great. Now we're going to go to my stash. That is my trims and my ribbons and all the yumminess. Okay, so I've got this in here. And I thought on this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to trim it down. Not just because I got Scotch tape on me, and that's the only reason why I'm trimming it. And then we're going to take, I'm going to dry this just a second, because now I'm going to glue laces and fabrics, oops, no way on, over this. Oh, thank you, Lisa. Tammy, you love my shirt. Thanks. Oh, you're never too late. You're never late when you come on and catch somebody, because even if you do a replay, you're still there. That's how I look at it. You're still there with me. Because I go back at the end of the day and I still check and see, you know, because I even like to make sure that I let you know that I saw you even if you were on a replay. Okay, got that. Jamie, Crafters Unite. That's right, Jamie, because you know, you're down, Jamie, you're in Texas, right? Texas, and you've got Tammy, who's in Arizona. So I'm not sure why people on the Midwest and the west side of the country don't do these little things like they do on the South and the East Coast. Why? Anybody know the answer? Okay. So I'm going to take this one, I'm going to take this little piece and I'm just going to twist this up and do a little scrunchie. And I'm just going to put some hot glue on this here. And I'm going to scrunchie this up, not burn my thumb, and make a little flower shape out of this piece. I love making scrunchies. Okay. So that's what we'll do there. Bring it in, come back around here, maybe a bitsy. Okay. So we got that piece there. So I'm just going to use all these little bits and pieces. Let's see, I've got, how about, look at this piece of the vintage. Isn't that pretty? Coffee stained it looks like. And let's see, I think on this one, I'm going to just come up. And let's get my other glue out, because this one here is, my glue gun gets a little, I'm not always like the glue gun. I'm going to string this one around a little bit. So just using up all these bits and pieces. If I get to it, I've even got some jewelry pieces that we can add on to this. I don't know why, because I don't know my directions. Jamie. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to curve this one at an angle. I love this piece. I've got to get myself back to my antique mall, and I'm hoping maybe I can do that this week yet to get some more beauties. Okay, put that on there. Okay, and then let's see, let's go with, what we got in here? Anything sticking out that's yelling my name? Oh, look at this. I didn't know I had this anymore. That's the problem when I put my stash, my trims away in things that tuck them away, because then I don't remember I had them. So this is kind of a cute one. It has some little kind of pearl color little thingies on it. And maybe on this one here, I'm just going to run it up the edge here like from here to here maybe we can do. But my goal here is that I don't want to cover all the prettiness of the papers, but I want to add layers. Maybe I'll bring this over so it's kind of like it's going off the edge. Oh, I'm so excited. I can hear my husband's vacuuming out there. Woohoo! Don't you love it when you hear that your husband's at something? My husband's very domestic. Let's see. Okay, I think I got everybody there. Okay, we've got that on it. And then we've got, let's see, what else do we got in here? There's another little piece of something, scrap. And we're going to get it put on here. Let's go up here in this area for that. A little overboard on the glue on that piece. Okay. That's a thicker piece, so I am going to probably add a little bit of bits in here. Okay. And let's see what else we got in here. All kinds of stuff. Look at all these little pieces in here. I thought I didn't have any lace. My goodness. Here's another pretty vintage one. We need to dangle all of our stash from the ceiling with yarn. We could set our stuff out. Hey, you can make one of those things, put them on the piece of board and hang them all down around all the edges. That's what I need, because don't you guys find, as creatives, that everybody's always like, you know, you need to put the stuff away so you don't see it, so your room's all nice and neat. It's needy too. But if I do that, I don't get inspired. Is anybody else like that? I have to see things. I can't go digging and start digging. That's just the way I am. What about you guys? My granddaughter Jill says, would love to do this with me when she visits next week. This would be a great little project for you to do with your granddaughter. I bet you guys would have fun with that. Okay, so here's another piece of little lace, something. Just going to keep on adding these and layering it in here. So it's giving it a vintage feel, and this is a cute little trimmed one. But what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to just scrunch up and make it kind of, I don't know, scrunchy. How about you? It's a partial scrunchie. That's what this is. It's a partial scrunchie. And I'm going to trim it here. And then, hello, Clifton's Crafty Casa. Thanks for coming in. I have to see all, I know, I don't understand how I could craft if it's all how I get inspired when I have it all inside. Like, like I said when I started, I even forgot I had this until I started looking for something to do for my stash. But then I have to find a way to have it organized, but yet showing. So what I'll do is I'll have my little boxes around with the lids up, sitting on table over here, so I can at least see at a glance. And, you know, I'm thinking, I don't know, guys. I try to be neat, because when people come over, they want to see my craft room. And then I get embarrassed. It's like, oh my gosh. So I have to tell them the whole preface. Well, now don't look, because you can come see what it's set up like, but, you know, don't look at all the mess. Don't look at everything that's on my actual table that I'm working on. Don't look, but you can go see it. Oh. Okay. There's a cute one. Let's see, we got 8 minutes. 8 minutes. Okay, what else I'm going to put on here? Let's see, I got this piece of something something here that's kind of chunky that I can fill in something on somewhere. I can fill it somewhere. Let's see here, we'll go down here maybe. Don't you love to layer when you work? I mean, you may not, and if you don't, that's okay. We can all still like each other. Even if you don't like to layer. Let's see, I'm going to put this little piece of blue fabric on. I think that would add a little spice, and maybe I'll cut it in half. Usually I would tear it, but I don't want to have it. Okay, put that little blue there, and I'll put another blue down here. That will get that corner have something. Okay, now real quick, I told you, so there's what we got so far. Okay, see all the little pieces hanging about, just doing their own thing. I have to clean my craft room when my kids come. Some will sleep in there. Well, that's good motivation. I try to start every Monday. I try to come in on Monday and get mine all put together again. We label our room incorrectly. It should be called Inspiration Room. Hey, that's a good idea. Inspiration Room. Okay, now look what I found in my stash. It's a little stopwatch. Now, don't you think that'd look kind of cute stuck on? Oh gosh, it really does. I'm just saying. It really does look cute on here. Oh, now, don't unplug on me. My glue always wants to come unplugged when I don't want it to. Okay, so we'll let that get back and get heated up. And I'll just use my 3-in-1. So we'll put this one on. And then I've got enough. I saw somebody the other day that was saying with these kind of glues that whenever they do a craft, they then have another bottle and they top it off so that it comes to the top. Because if your glue is at the top, you're not going to get all that difficulty getting things out or that overflow. Okay, well, be that way, you little stinker. Okay, got 6 minutes here. And you're going to go on, by George. Okay, even if it's lightly. Okay, there we go. So we're going to put the clock up here, the clock, and then look at this. This is on, that's an old, that's probably about 20 years old. This little necklace. Now, I'm thinking this would look really pretty kind of up here in this area maybe. But I need one of my glues to cooperate with me to put it on. There we go. Thank you. Okay. And I'm just going to put the whole thing up here. Okay. And then we'll string it down here a little bit. You guys can't even see what I'm doing, I'm sure. Okay, let's see. I don't want to cover up that pretty too much though. So maybe what we'll do is just put a piece of it, do it up here, and then when I get off, I will, whoops, wrong glue. I have 4 different glue bottles sitting around here. Because you know, they all have a special assignment, right? Special assignments. My sister came by the other day, said I had too much stuff. I thought about the comment. I know, that's what they do. They come in and tell us that we need to get rid of stuff. Where a visitor questioned keeping dog food in the fridge. They were shown the door. Oh, no, that's kind of, so my close friends know now, and my family too, that everybody's really nice about it, but if you don't understand, that's okay. It's not for you to understand. It's kind of how I think. What about that? Okay, we can stick that up here somewhere. This is the kind of thing that my friend that I'm giving this to loves this type of stuff. These pieces of jewelry and brooches and all that. So hopefully this is going to be a nice little surprise gift for her. Right now she's actually vacationing, I think, in California. Okay, I'm watching here, Christy. I'm watching. But anyway, I'll keep working on this, but this is kind of where we're going with all of it. And I'm just going to keep layering it and chunkying it up. See where I put that up there? And then it has this saying here about the beauty of a vintage woman. And so I'm going to get this all dolled up. And thanks, Lisa. You are welcome, Christy. Thank you for hosting the event today. And stay tuned for our next person who is on here. And I want to say that it is Joyful Artistry with Heidi, I believe. I hope I'm not wrong here on the Crafting Bunch page. The Crafty Bunch. Thanks, guys. See y'all later. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.